Warning, this content is not for kids. If you're a kid, f off.
Disco sluts, they dance the night away. Disco sluts, they dance the night away. On and on, they dance on and on and on. Disco sluts, they dance the night away. Disco sluts, they dance the night away. On and on, they dance on and on. She's always falling down the stairs. 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 She's always falling down. And in the morning she's gone back home. Disco sluts, they dance the night away. Disco sluts, they dance the night away. On and on, they dance on and on. Disco sluts, they dance the night away. Disco sluts, they dance the night away. On and on, they dance on and on. She's always falling down the stairs. 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 She's always falling down. And in the morning she's pints in a pool and a punch up later. Two-bed whore and a whiskey chaser. Pints in a pool and a punch up later. Two-bed whore and a whiskey chaser. Pints in a pool and a punch up later. Two-bed whore and a whiskey chaser. Pints in a pool and a punch up later. Two-bed whore and a whiskey chaser. Pints in a pool and a punch up later. Two-bed whore and a whiskey chaser.
The size of that, the paw prints. Some giant dogs stood here deciding which one to use was going to be breakfast. Same size as my fist. I'll be able to fist bump that dog and it'll feel like I'm fist bumping a dog with a paw the same size as my fist. It's one half of home set up. Let me just show you, look. There's my bed of pine needles. We've got so much sand in here from the thunderstorm. Remember the thunderstorm a few days ago? Well, depending on how long it takes me to upload this video. But it splashed so much rain that all the sand come in everywhere. So that's why the inside of the tent needs put up again, because I had to take it down to clean it and get the sand out. But on the way in here we noticed something that I need to go and rectify. So before we set up this inside of the tent, somebody's taken that one off. Sorry buddy, I've got lots of these. Back to camp. Someone's either lost the fidget toy or they've dropped it so many times in the sand it doesn't work. So they've thrown it away. It's kind of like the same rubbery plastic that dogs' toys are made. Where are you going? I'm going to leave it here. People will spot that, whoever's lost that they'll be able to see that. That stands out, does it? Oh look, give me that. Forrest Gump must have been here. Ah, oh, Alan, shall we poke this in your fur to make it look like you have a feather growing out? And then we'll convince the world that you're some kind of hybrid dog bird. Bird dog. Why are you sitting next to that? Hey, why are you sitting next to that? My wee boy. Right, out the way then. Let me get it. Oh, look at this, boys and girls. That. Oh, and the one that's in there. New batteries. New batteries. So, hopefully we won't ever need to cut to my mobile phone footage for the end of the video where the quality of the footage just drops. Sorry, I'm trying to get Alan a treat. Good boy. We need to source some wood, boys and girls. Or should I say girls, because according to the YouTube algorithm, it's like 97% of my viewers are female now, between the ages of 40 and 55. So hello ladies. Anyway, ladies, we need to source some wood. Look at all these fallen trees from the storm. Which tree do you think we should source some wood from? Knocked over, but the roots are still intact. Look how green and luscious that one is compared to that one there. It's still got a wee bit of green, but the rest of it's brown. And then there's no needles there, they've all fallen off. And that one there that's fallen, all the needles on that are brown. That's dead, so the roots in that are definitely not keeping that alive. But check, can you see that one that's curved? How cool is that? That fell years ago, but chose to live, and so it started growing up the way again. It's pretty awesome, is it? Right, we're going to go down there to source some wood. Take cover! You can tell it's dead. That's dead, man. Wee shame. I wish you a better life in the next one. I found a sufficient branch that's like kind of consistently the same thickness. We're having that. I have an appropriate flat log. Flat log? That's a brick, man. I would have liked it to be slightly wider, but for demonstration purposes, 3 sticks of approximately the same size and thickness. I think I might still saw a wee bit off of them. I think they might be too long. So what's that, a good 24 inches? I'm a guy, man. Why are you asking me what inches are? I'm always going to add on an extra couple, am I? Right, we'll come back to this. I'm going to set the inside of my tent up while we still have daylight, because I don't want to use my head torch. I haven't used the head torch all year so far, well, except for winter in January. But anyway, setting that up, and then we'll come back to this. But we've got everything we need now, except for my knife to cut notches and taper ends that stab into the ground. Stay tuned. The house is all set up. I've been stuffing extra pine needles in. That's my vestibule area where I keep my Bergen and my boots and stuff, and then I can zip this door. But I don't really usually zip this door closed, and I keep that door open so I've got the view. And yeah, pine needles, this is what I'm trying to tell you. I've told you this before, but I'm about to tell you again. Pine needles, foliage, twigs, just all this loosey stuff just lying around. And you can take what's considered to be a 3-season tent and turn it into a 4-season tent by, you know, all those little gaps under there. Now, I don't really need to do this. I'm doing this for demonstration purposes. I'll guarantee to be doing it again in the winter. All those little gaps, we're just going to seal them off. And then you do that all the way around the tent. You just created yourself a 4-season tent. I know it doesn't work if you've got the doors open. It's for demonstration purposes. Anyway, now that that's set up, check this out. We've got the rock we're using as the deadfall to fall and make things dead. Kinda equal thickness. They don't have to be. They don't have to be, as long as they're sturdy enough to hold each other up. This is the shape we kind of want. It's like a figure 4. That's being supported by maybe another rock or a tree or something. It's balanced on there, connected to there. Wee grooves. I'm going to need to cut grooves there, there and there. And this is the trigger stick with the bait on it. So when your prey comes through there, touches that, that knocks out those sticks and that falls on it. But let me get to the notches first and then we'll come back to that. A flat bit in there and a notch in there for the flat bit to fit in. We're going to cut a groove in that one and a groove in that one so they fit into each other. Going to taper that end and a notch in there so it fits into each other. And then that's the bait stick, the bait trigger. I'm making short work of the grooves and notches and pointy bits. I'm still cutting more of the groove to fit more into that groove, but that's essentially how they're going to fit. We'll come back to this in a minute. I'm going to have a break and enjoy the sunset. Right guys, I'm just setting up this trap. Some tourists have just turned up, so I'm going to discard this for now. Nice and peaceful, eh? Water seems pretty calm. And for this exact moment, it's all mine. Gas warning. You better believe it, I've been farting all morning, man. We're at the point. Let's go through the gate. Beware of the tides. No, beware of the young team. And here we have our compass seat, which points directly to Solo Bro's house. Look at this. I'm going to imagine it was just the wind that blew all this out. What are you? What is that thing? Right, we'll have an old screw of some kind. That looks like some kind of clampy clamp. So does that. What did they go on? Designed by Hellbrush in England, assembled in China. You mean made in China? Alan, what's this? You ready? I got a good launch out of that with this. There you go. All that area, that's where the seals all hang out. And I think they know when we're camping, they like to wind us up by shouting, pretending they're humans, going, hey, hey. We wind up merchants so that are. Alan, that fence might be electrical. Yeah, sure mate, it's going into the sea. So what is this? Look at these bloody flies. Oh man, they come out in the millions at night time. I thought it was raining, and then I realised it was only raining on my feet. It wasn't rain, it was those things. Alan was freaking out. Right, what do you imagine this fence is for? Look, it goes right out into the water. I mean, I know it's not anything for the fisheries. What is this fence for? If you know what this fence is for, tell me in the comments, because I'll probably forget to Google what this fence is for until I'm editing this video. Let's get rid of that. Oh, itchy coos. Remember when we were kids, we used to break those things open and put them down the backs of our friends' t-shirts and stuff and rub them in. Good times.
Good morning folks, good morning. You find me here in a right pissed off state of mind because I'm at Tesco. Now I tried this morning to...
Watching your video in the woods, Jag, enjoying a cup of coffee. Wait a minute, will you just shut up? I've nailed this coffee jet boiled malarkey now, man. I've got it down to a T. Cheers, Jamie boy. That's Jamie stopped snoring. Apparently I was snoring myself last night. Here's why though. My tent's been put slightly too far that way, and there's a dip there. My head was hanging off a dip the whole night. Must have had the blood rushing to my head as well, eh? But yeah, so that's why I was snoring. I'm going to sit on that log, watch Jag's video, and have my morning coffee. They're off for supplies. While they're off for supplies, I'm going to have an attempt at putting Jamie's bashet up. I'm trying to remember if he has the seam, because I do remember he used one of the bits in the middle to tie up to the centre, to tie up to the tree, but you can still use these straps as well to tie it. I'm sure the straps might have been on the inside. I'm in a swarm of bloody flies. Where did you... Fuck off, where did you guys come from? Hear that? No flies. They don't like smoke. I don't encourage smoking though, ladies. Mind you, if the average ages of my viewers is between 45 and 55, Pretty sure you know by now not to smoke. Don't start smoking now. That's my job done. Well, that's what I'm doing so far. That's what I'm doing. Full stop. And I'm sure Jamie will come and make a couple of adjustments to suit his needs. Or just take it down and do it again the way he wants it. That bit's done. But what I've just noticed now, and only because I'm away to do that bit, that's the bit I'm supposed to taper in. Look at the knots on that. So much work to be done. I actually had a brainwave and I got the little handsaw and chopped the knotted bit off so I could just taper that bit easier. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I would have preferred for this to be slightly further back so this rock was more horizontal, but for demonstration purposes, right? So you've got notch, 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 pointy bit. I didn't need to cut a pointy bit in there because of the way the stick was sawn out, and a notch there. And this, preferably you want to smother it in peanut butter, work it in there so whoever's going to stop to eat it has to put proper effort into getting it off the stick. Put a lot of foliage here and a lot of foliage here, creating a funnel so that your rabbit or whatever has no choice but to go that way. This is my makeshift rabbit, by the way. Look at its wee fucked up ears. I'm going to eat that peanut butter. Oh, go for it, rabbit. Yum yum yum. Oh. Deed. That was your figure 4 deadfall trap. Hey, after all that effort, we got there in the end. Told you you'd be making adjustments. Crate walls, clearly bigger than that, so the prey has no choice but to go that way. Nibble, 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 nibble. While I remember that big fence that goes out from the land into the sea, all that area has wild cattle and stuff, Highland coos and all that nonsense, and it's to stop the coos wandering down the coastline when the tide's out. That's the fire pit down there, but I might make a little fire there just the size of my fist, and I can't smoke enough to keep those flies away, so I'm going to put a fire on because we already saw Carol. I'm going to put a fire there now that I know you're not going to be back again. I've dug a pit. I'm going to keep this fire as small as I can possibly keep it. There you go, they're already gone. They're already gone. Oh wait, there's still a couple of stragglers, but I think I've just dealt with the fly situation. That's all it takes, look. You don't need it any bigger than that. You do not need a bonfire, plus however tall and wide the tree and the branches are, that's how wide the roots are. I'm sure I've told you this before. Green stuff creates a lot of smoke, but we're trying to be stealthy. If you chuck green leaves and stuff like that on there, that'll create a lot of smoke. But that's what you want to do if you want to get noticed from like the yellow helicopters and stuff like that. We don't want to get noticed from the yellow helicopters. We're just enjoying a stealth camp without flies now. I was busy carving a predator stabby thing, and then I stabbed myself with the stabby thing. I'm giving up for the night. That tiny little nick that I put in my finger, as tiny as it is, I don't want to leave it unattended because that's how infections happen and all that nonsense. Wound taken care of. That's his sleeping arrangement then. I told you he would make a few adjustments. He didn't make too many, but I was correct though. Remember, I couldn't figure out which side the thing should be on. I was correct. It's forecast for another storm. But look, across the Dundee, man, it's dark and grey and dull, and it's travelling this way. But that storm just passed when it had sheet lightning. Remember when the whole sky was white rather than just a bolt of lightning? This is where we were. And this is where, this is where Jamie was. With his bungees tied to the highest point of the highest tree on the highest point of the hill in the whole of the area. He was dying first, but luckily we escaped it. According to the lightning map app, there was a bolt of lightning right there, and there was a bolt of lightning right there, and we were right in the fucking middle of it, man. I was in there, curled up in a little ball because I was terrified because I've got metal poles and metal pegs. I was like, oh no man, but as long as they stay in the middle, I'll be alright. What are you talking about? There was never a fire there in the first place, boss. Dinna ken what you're talking about, man. He snoozing, Alan's cell out, sleeping in there. I'm away to go to my bed.
Fucking hell, mate, you want it?
So much for the rain.
One last look at this view before we head off. It's beautiful. So campers, help yourself to all these ready prepared traps and stakes. I was making a lightsaber steak last night. So help yourself to that. That's for vampires. Help yourself to all this pre-processed wood. Bye bed. Not going to see you for a while. Yeah, we ain't coming back to this spot for a bit. It's we've created lots of trails. Supposed to leave no trace. Leave no trace. We've just made it look like somebody's lived here for a while. So we're off to let Mother Nature take its forest back. Well, boys and girls, ladies, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hitting the like button, and thanks for subscribing, you beautiful girls. I shall see you all in the comments. Love you. Ta-ta.